Hi, it's Eric Coffin, HRA Advisories. I'm talking to you from the September 2018 edition of the Metal Investors Forum. I'm here with Brandon McDonald, CEO of Fireweed Zinc, which of course is a company I follow. Fireweed has a very large, high-grade zinc project in the Yukon that they greatly enlarged the resource on earlier this year, and then produced a very nice-looking PEA this summer, and now we're sort of at the end of the field season, and you're just starting to get this sort of wave of results coming in. I mean, you put one hole out last week that was quite impressive. That was a really high-grade intercept that you had there.
Yeah, I think that leading up to this, since IPO May last year, there's been a lot of we arm wave about what things could be, where we think we could step out. That we felt we had confidence that there was more high-grade tons to be found there, and certainly that confidence improved as we were heading into this drill season. So when we saw that intersection visually, we knew we had something pretty special, and then to get the assays back, true thickness between 5 and 12 meters, we're not entirely sure. There's some structural complexity there, but 21% zinc, 13.5% lead, 240 grams silver. That's a
pretty wicked hole.
Yeah, it's a pretty great hole. So now, as a step out and a reasonable step out, that shows that we're not making stuff up. Yeah. And it's not our imagination that there's more high-grade tons there. There clearly is.
And you focused, I think it sounded like you decided sort of once you started drilling this summer that you're, rather than, spend a lot of time, energy, and money right now sort of drilling infill holes, you kind of stuck to looking for step outs, and I think a few holes at new targets as well, right?
Yeah, there was a couple holes on new targets. The truly new targets, we had a gravity anomaly at Tom that was unexplained, subtle. We tested that. It was a miss. We don't know what's going on there. And there was something adjacent to end zone that we don't quite understand that missed as well. But we did drill 4 other holes at end zone that intersect a zone that we sent away for assay.
Right. So you've got quite a few drill holes coming from Tom, Jason, end zone, and it sounded to me like you're pretty happy with the earlier stage stuff. Like you ended up doing a fair amount. I mean, more than I thought, more than I expected of soil gas hydrocarbon and just kind of straight BC horizon soils.
Yeah.
And this ground gravity, like you.
Yeah.
You basically, I guess, how much of the area did you cover with that? Because I mean, it's a very big project now. You added to it a lot.
We covered about, I think it was 45 square kilometers in all of gravity, passive seismic, and geochem. And the geochem, from every station we took basic, BC horizon samples, an MMI sample, and a soil gas hydrocarbon sample. Okay. The orientation studies we did showed that the BC horizon was about what we're expecting. It's like you've got to be careful of your dispersion train because a lot of it's glaciated. The MMI didn't seem to be giving us much more than the normal soils, right. But the soil gas hydrocarbons, all we've got back was the orientation survey, and they managed to bullseye, without us telling them where the deposits were, right. They managed to bullseye known deposits, some of which were buried several hundred meters under bedrock, right? So we're eagerly anticipating our final results there.
Okay, and those will they'll form the basis, or I guess much of the basis for the next drill program. Mm-hmm. But so I mean, essentially, what you're really trying to do, I guess, this year. I mean, it's already a really big resource already.
Yeah.
But you're basically trying to demonstrate, like, yes, I can grow this resource, but I also have all these other cool targets on top of that.
Yeah, and I think that it doesn't take much to have a district thesis to actually demonstrate, that you have a thesis that can be repeated, yeah. And you actually have a method for discovering more of these is a bit of a different beast. That then suddenly you actually have to put your money where your mouth is and drill it, right? So we almost had some targets ready this year, some brand new one, and we had this corridor that is exactly where we thought we would find targets, and then these targets appeared really exactly where we'd want to see them as both gravity and sometimes mag anomalies, because in the true vent of these systems you do get pyrrhotite. Right. But we really wanted to wait until that was interpreted and the geochem was brought in, which we just didn't have,
Right.
before we tested it.
Okay. It sounds like there's lots of news coming. I mean, I'm on record saying that I think I think zinc has bottomed again, and that I'm expecting probably another decent upside move in it now that the warehouse inventories have dropped off again. So I'm certainly expecting good things from that, and a lot more good news from Fireweed.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those projects where the bulk of the work gets done in the summer. So right now, we're just at the start of the reporting period. So it's a great time to be paying attention to the stock. Thank you.